Hello audience, it's time for DomiNations again. This time another time on English title, I think. My DomiNations is quite actually not loading, like you see. But I want to talk with you about base layouts. It's a video which I already uploaded in German, now also in English, because I had some requests or some discussions with some people which I really like, who are not German and are unable to speak German. So I will talk again about this topic in English. Yes, actually it's not possible to give a general advice how you should design a base, and before I go on, I have to say I will only talk about bases which have the goal to protect your resource buildings here, like the market and like your mills, trade goods, command post, and especially your oil if you are just in the Enlightenment Age. Not to protect your metals. To protect your metals, you can just straight use your World War bases if you have built quite effective one. But in my opinion, it's the first time you should try to get for medals in high league bonuses, like the league above 2,500 medals, or what's the name of it? Medals. Decorations, I don't know. When you get more than, I have 781 decorations, I think now. I don't know the word for it. I will call it decorations. If you are above 2,500 decorations, I think it's worth for trying to protect them and don't protect your resource buildings anymore. So because I'm still not in the industrial age, and many of you I think too, I won't talk about bases to protect your decorations. I will talk about farm bases in which you can save and protect your loot. And I started to begin about from which age it's senseful to protect it and to get a good base layout. And I think in the classical age, it's before the medieval age. In German it's called Antike. I think the English name is Classical Age. It's not that much important to protect your resources because you won't get attacked so often. But I can show in my second account a pretty proper base layout for the Classical Age. That's my second account. I'm not playing anymore. He's maxed out in the Classical Age, Antike in German, like you see on the right top of the screen. Yes, I put my catapult, the splash damage structure, right in front of my base and guarded it on the right, left, and top side with some towers. And the first and the only ballista which is available for me in this age is on the bottom. I think in every age the mortar or the catapult or whatever it's called is your main defensive structure which you should protect, because everyone who wants to deal severe damage to your base has to attack with some guides like fusiliers and halberdiers and something like that. So with some fighters who have no range or have a little bit range, so ranged infantry or no distance camp fighters to deal some damage, or with cannons. And to all of this troops you can deal really much damage with the splash damage structure with your catapult. And so I think it is the most important building for you to defend yourself from even these troops which can do much damage to your buildings and steal some loot from you, because cavalry wow hard word, cavalry and or heavies, like you call it, are not that much dangerous. They are focusing on defending buildings and not attacking your markets and mills. So, and they also deal really little damage. for their 6 troops base they are taking. And yes, this is a classical age base layout, which I can only recommend to you. I'm not protecting the second mill, but the command post, because we are really successful in the World War. So the command post is now not, but ordinary already full and always fulfilled. So I have to protect them. I built 2 chambers, in which in the first chamber we have the mill and the market, and the second market and the command post is in the second chamber. So if you're breaching the wall with a miner or with a sapper or whatever it's called, you don't have access to all of my resource buildings. I think it's quite strong. Another fact, the splash damage structure is very powerful against big numbers of enemies, and the ballista or the cannon tower or anti-tank gun, whatever it's called in the ages, is really effective against single strong units. So I use them already in pairs, so that they can protect each other, and yes, protect each other. That's another fact. I think it's really strong. I'm also building all of my unimportant economic buildings, like the farms or the houses, world wonders, war academy, and much more around the base, so that when you are starting and trying to attack me, you can't start right next to the walls and kill and do damage. You have to start from the forest, and so you have to get over this distance. And so you're losing time, and you get the towers can shoot at you, and other buildings can shoot at you, while you have to destroy these unimportant buildings before you can destroy or damage something that is important for me, like the walls or the defensive buildings or even my resource buildings. That should be your aim or your goal in nearly every age. So the first age in which it is really recommendable, or in which I can really recommend you to build a strong base, is the medieval age. Let's see how the World War is. Oh, 6 minutes. Now I have to search for another World War. We have a participation of nearly 100%. You see, Miss Ranja is an inactive player. We took him with us. So that we can do a 15 World War, and not only because we have 14 or 13 active members, but you can only do a 10th World War or a 15-member World War. And because we have so many members who want to come with us, we took him with Miss Randa with us, so that we can make a 15 World War and not let 3 people at home who want to come with us. Nearly all others did their attacks. Yes, really great. The enemy really failed on us. Let's see, Bosniak, he's in Industrial Age, and he did 9% on me. 9%, that's nothing. He didn't even shit before or in front of my door. Doesn't matter, I don't want to talk about this. It's a really successful World War, really. 75 stars are maximum, and we got 70. So I have to search new World War in 5 minutes. What I want to talk about is, let's go back to the basis. Medieval Age is the first time point at which it's important to increase or to create a really effective base. But the problem in the medieval ages, it really depends on your library research and on your power in general, what for a base you can build. If you are really new in this age, it can be that you only have 90 walls and 1 catapult, but if you are nearly maxed out, it can be that you have 3 catapults and 100 or 110, no, I think 100 walls. So it really depends on your research and your progress in the medieval age. I can only say I have a really strong base layout. I also recommended one player out of our alliance. He actualized his base and built it after the layout I recommended to him. So he took now my base layout I had in medieval age. See it. it's not only pretty symmetric, I think symmetric, so that it looks really beautiful. It's also really powerful because you split up all of your important buildings, like your trade goods, your mills and markets, your command post, in different chambers. So if you want to take all of them, you have to breach in 4 chambers. It's hard work, and you have to gain or to get and breach through hard walls, through many walls. He actually has only 90 walls, I think, so he get 10 more walls through research, and if he has them, he can protect the towers and parts of his castle down here, and so nearly all of his markets and mills are protected by 2 walls or even more, and I think it's really, really strong. His catapults are right in the middle of his base, so they have great range to fire on enemy units which are close to the walls, and they are also protected by the ballistas, which is really, really great, because if some heavies and cavalry is coming to destroy the catapults, they get fired from the ballista towers. The upper catapult is protected by both towers, and on the right and on the left side he got a protected by wall protected stable and a garrison. I think it's really tough and a really nice base layout. Also his buildings, his economic buildings, are spread out around the base, like in my base, that you can't start at its walls and do immediately damage to his defensive structures. You have to start in the forest and first destroy unimportant buildings before you can get the important ones. So here's a really quite nice base layout for the medieval age. You can take a screenshot if you want to copy it. It's really recommendable. Really strong, this base layout for protecting your resources. So going now on to the Gunpowder Age. Yes, I think it's called Gunpowder Age. There we have also a really nice example in our alliance. I will search for her. She built her base really, oh, she's online. Really strong. She really strong base layout she built it. It's also based on a triangle structure, like all base layouts before. You have these triangle structures with 90-degree. I don't know the word. Okay, angle. I think an ankle. 90-degree ankles. You have many 90-degree ankles you are putting on top of the other, and everyone has some resource buildings and a catapult or a mortar. So if you want to get to Pipelinians buildings, you have to crash many high walls, and there are many mortars, and their range is covering each other, and there are some cannon towers. I don't have to repeat myself. I already mentioned it. The tower and the castle and the towers are protecting this mortar. The redoubt and this tower are protecting this mortar, and the 2 cannon towers protect even both mortars. So it's a really strong base layout. When I look at her defendings, when she got attacked, nearly nobody could get her resources. Even some Enlightenment Age troops really stuck and eaten up on her base. So it's really great base layout. She can be proud on it, and yes, I can only recommend it for your Gunpowder Age players. In Germany we call it Tannenbaum, Christmas tree. I think it's in English, Christmas tree, because it looks like a Christmas tree. So before we are going to the Enlightenment Age, to my base layout actual, I will see, okay. So for the Enlightenment Age, I think this spiral structure, or this, whatever you will call it, looks like a spiral. It's really effective because you can put really in the center and protected by everything you have, your oil. There are many players in Industrial Age which are focusing on your oil. Then you put your mortars right around it, so that they can cover each other. You see, this mortar is covering the other ones, and every mortar is covering every mortar. So if you want to attack them, you really get beaten up. So next to every mortar there is a cannon tower. There is no cannon tower alone or no mortar alone. everyone is protected by a cannon tower. This is the spare work I already mentioned. The cannon towers kill single heavy units, and the mortar can deal severe damage to a mass of enemy troops. That's the first principle. The second principle is there is always a redoubt if you're running into my base. If you want to come through these entrances I made for you really attractive. I did this. I let these entrances open to make it attractive to come over here. But then redoubts are firing from everywhere to you, so you can't enter my base through it. Oh, there are also all my I don't know what's the name. These slowing down traps, which are slowing down and getting the enemy which is standing in it really less damage. Caltrops, I think. Caltrops. Okay, these caltrops. And also my highest walls are over here because I recognize that when players are coming, they are in 90% attacking from the right or attacking from the left and shooting through these walls first, and then they are in my base and do severe damage. So I strengthened up these walls first. They have now 22,572 health points. It's really strong, I think. And the caltrops reducing the enemy attack. So if you attacking these wall parts, you are staying in the caltrops and only doing nearly 50% of your damage. So the walls are twice as high as they seem. 44,000 you have to beat up before you can before you are inside my base. I think it's a really strong layout, and it works really great when I look at my defendings. When you're asking why my walls are that much high, I didn't spend. I got 2,100 crowns, yes, and I built I bought a starter pack for the houses, but I always farmed it. I never spend money on my walls. Never. You can see it over here. Look at Räuberbaron. It's in German, but it means to get 1 billion gold in the multiplayer, and I already got 660 million. I farmed 660 million, so you see it's all, nearly everything of it in the walls. I didn't cheat or bought for money. I upgraded it by multiplayer. Come on. So that was about Enlightenment Age. Yes. Another thing is, I already, like I mentioned, I created chambers. That first one, here is the first chamber going right around, and in this chamber you have 1 market, 2 mills, and the storehouse. So I think four important buildings. Here you have only 2, because this arm of the base is shorter than this long arm of the base. Here's another long arm of the base, but I got only 1 market and the command post over here. And I focused on doing the most important buildings for me in the center, like the oil refinery, like the markets, and like the command post, because I have to protect them. You see 5.1 million food I have. And I always have too much food because I'm upgrading my walls and can always spend my money, but my food, I'm not able to spend it, and I always have too much food. So it's a little appetizer to get attracted by the enemy to take this food, and please take it, I don't want it, take the food, and then you eat up on my base, because you can't get to the center where my really my real worth or valuable resources are defended, like gold and oil. Yes, that's quite my another victory, our 50th victory. So we have won 50 world wars in a row. I have to do a screenshot, because sometimes we are not getting our war loot. Now I have screenshot. I will shortly search for another world war, and then it goes on. 15. Yes, looks great. Looks really great. Yes, so we will search. Come on. Yes. Okay. And the next World War is searched. I think it's our 60s World War of 59. Okay, back to the bases. Also, the entrances of my base are protected by the Versailles. The Versailles building is working like a really big caltrop, because everyone in this range of the Versailles is slowed down and can move only really slow, even if the building is destroyed. Second nice point is 10% troop health. It gives plus 10% health to your defending and to your attacking troops. So every troop of me in the I don't know the word, Kaserne, barracks, I think. In the barracks is also upgraded. The next arm on the next entrance of my base over here is protected by the Acropolis and by the Colosseum and many defender producing buildings. You see the garrison over here, garrison, stable, Colosseum. They are protecting this arm of the base, this entrance. But also this is the entrance which is the least important for me, because nearly no one is attacking from here, and there's only one market. The second important arm or the entrance is over here. I got my castle, I got my generals, which I'm upgrading in the moment. Yes. And some caltrops and spike traps, which are maxed out. I can't improve them. In the Enlightenment Age, I maxed all my traps. I think it's a quite well working base layout, and if you have some comments or some meanings about it, just tell it to me. I can show you my ready base layout for the Enlightenment, for the Industrial Age. Don't wonder if there are so many free spaces. I plan to do there are some buildings which I still don't have at the moment. My fourth mortar is coming over here. I got fourth. The fourth one, which I have to upgrade in the Industrial Age, is over here. The fourth cannon tower will come over here, so that again every mortar is protected by a cannon tower. I'm really sad about getting no fourth redoubt tower, but it is so. I can't do anything against it. Here the holes in my wall are because I get 10 more walls, so I can close all my walls. And now I have a really symmetric base again for the Industrial Age, with 4 arms, 4 entrances, and not only 3 like in the moment. Annoying music. Again, every entrance is protected. This entrance by some traps and the Versailles. This entrance by a tower and some garrisons in the stable. Acropolis Colosseum combination over here, and my castle with 2 generals on top of it. I think it's a proper base layout. Again, I spread all my buildings around it so that you can't start directly next to the walls. You have to start from the forest and get a long distance before you can attack some valuable buildings. I don't know what more to say to you. I think that was everything I can tell you about bases. I would next World War enemy. I would appreciate and would be happy about some comments, some likes or whatever. When you think my base is great, just tell me. When you think it's not so great, just tell me also. Oh, let's see at our new World War enemies. Königsblut, it's a German alliance. We are playing against some Germans. I think it could be some much more harder, because I think they could probably be as communicative as we are and talk to each other. Before in the World War, every single time my opponent, my mirror count was Industrial Age. Now the number 1 of the enemies, is in Enlightenment Age. I think he could be maxed out. I really think that could be a really tough base. Oh yes, he's maxed out. Yes. Every garrison, every stable is maxed out. Quite nice base layout. He understands what he does. The castle is maxed out. Buildings are spread right around it. He got really strong I don't know the word, street bonus. The bonus he gains by connecting buildings to his town center via the street. His walls are on level 8. Yes, I think it's a tough base layout. I will see what I can do against him. I still have some ideas how to get him, but I will make some ideas and think about it. And when I get a good idea and a tactic, a strategy, how to hopefully 5-star him. No, that would be arrogant. I try to do what I can, but I will see what I can do against him. I will do a strategy, and you will see my World War attack tomorrow evening. I'm really appreciate it, and I'm happy. I think it will be a much harder World War like the ones before. Really cool. So my base episode is ended. I hope I could help you. Just if you want to take a screenshot, copy the base for you. Have a good evening, and we'll see us in the next episode of DomiNations. Bye bye.